my name is Lorena. Fun facts about myself, I'm an identical twin. I grew up in a beautiful family, very loving, lots of vacations, lots of fun, party life. Um, my dad was an alcoholic, is an alcoholic, so it was a little bit rough in that aspect. It was not an abusive family, it was just, craziness. I fell in love with alcohol when I first tried it at the age of 15. I always felt an awkwardness inside of not fitting in and a social anxiety that alcohol took away from me. So I fell in love with alcohol and I kept drinking party life until I left a 7-year boyfriend, which became very abusive to me, financially, sexually, emotionally, and towards the end physically. During that marriage, my alcohol addiction peaked. I started drinking every day, then I started having to drink in the morning, before work, during work, after work. Left the ex-husband, thought that my alcoholism was gonna go away. It didn't, it followed me. I moved back in with my mom. I'm hiding bottles everywhere. I'm throwing bottles out of the car. I get a DUI. My life is falling apart. I'm financially ripped of everything. And I'm detoxing one day in my mom's house, and I had an interlock in my car. I had nowhere to get anything. I drink rubbing alcohol in desperation. I land myself in the hospital. I go to a treatment center in 2020. And I get sober for a year, and it was the most amazing year of my life. But something was missing. I was missing the acceptance of my disease. I admitted that I was an alcoholic and that I couldn't drink like normal people, but I didn't actually accept it. So I always had the hope that somehow, someday, I would be able to drink like somebody normal, which I tried in a year. Relapsed the night I was picking up my medallion in AA, and I was back to the races. And I wasn't ready for a long time to come back until I realized that I now have my dream job, which is an aesthetic injector. My relationship, we broke up 2 weeks before I came here. It had fallen apart too. And I was at the verge of losing my nurse practitioner license that I studied 7 years for. And I meet with the bottle again with the shakes in the morning, and just that pitiful demoralization that they talk about in the big book, because it's just, how did I get here? What am I doing? So I came here to Evolutions. It's changed my life completely. I was missing so much. I was missing the spirituality, I was angry at God, for why am I an alcoholic? Why is my twin sister normal? Why can she drink normally? Just jealous of normal drinkers. And with all of that anger inside, I couldn't see. I lost the gratitude. And this program has really helped me get that back. So Peter, my therapist at the detox center, I think honestly saved my life. He had me go through these traumas that I've been holding on to in my life, with my ex-husband, the feelings that I had towards that abusive relationship, the reasons why I stayed, why I would choose toxic relationships to begin with. We went through the emotions that I have, the sadness that I have about my dad. My dad's never, seeked any kind of treatment, and I have this sadness inside that he's falling apart, limb by limb, organ by organ. It's hard to see, because my dad was my hero, because he was like the party animal, and that's what I wanted to be. He was so much fun, and he's a pediatrician, and he's somebody I looked up to, and I've had to see him slowly dying for many years. And Peter brought that out of me, and I cried with Peter, and I fell out of my chair in therapy, and we had a lot of fun together. But he also brought out emotions that I wasn't ever able to bring out. He brought out the inner child in me, and I started crying and laughing at the same time. And very special, Peter. at PHP, I have gotten a lot from this therapist, Alice, that is not my actual therapist here, but when she does the group, she's absolutely phenomenal. And the things that Bino has said that have stuck with me, it makes you really see the beauty of life without the substance, the fun that a sober life could be, because that's what I always felt like. I was going to be trapped in this boring life. Like, I had this FOMO inside of me, fear of missing out on the party. And I've actually been able to change my mindset on FOMO as like a fear of missing out on my family, on my relationship, maybe kids one day, on my career, my job. Like, I've changed my mindset about the fear of missing out, And I've learned that, like, the things that I believed that I am without alcohol, like, I believed that I was boring without alcohol and that I was funner, and, all these things that are just lies that I tell myself, manipulation, the disease talking to me. They encourage AA here because AA works, You find fellowship, you find sober people to hang out with. You work these steps that help you get rid of those resentments and that shit that you're blaming everybody for your drinking, and like it really, like, it starts to cleanse you inside, and it teaches you to have a forgiving heart, because you have to have a forgiving heart even for yourself when you've been through this, because the amount of things you've put people through, you can drown in that guilt and in that shame, and you have to let those emotions go. And yeah, the experience has been really just life-changing for me. Beautiful family. I have an amazing man. I have a beautiful apartment. I have a job that people could only dream of, I highly recommend that you come to Evolutions. From the experience of the detox center to here at PHP, the help that you're going to get detoxing from the drug. They have the nicest nurses over there at the detox center. They're going to help you. They feed you. They do everything for you there while you're getting better. You go to the therapies and you listen to the things that you need to hear. And then one day it just kicks in and you're feeling better. And somehow it's doing something for you. The therapists there are all phenomenal. I had Peter, which was fantastic, with Tony, Gabby, those therapists, Maria, are fantastic. They get that feeling, that emotion, the reason that we're using, they bring it out so that we could face the emotion itself and get rid of that shit, And it's just, you come here to PHP, you have a little bit more freedom. They take you to outside meetings, and you start developing a foundation for your recovery, and it's just been an incredible journey. I would recommend it to anybody.